I'm pretty sure I don't need to introduce any of you to probably the best trainer in Australia, certainly, Mr. Lee Woodward. And Lee, thank you so much for interviewing.
My pleasure.
Just to give you a bit of background, I've been to, I reckon, 20 of Lee's courses. I've learnt more about dialogue in real estate and the systems of real estate from Lee than anyone else. And if you haven't been to the Complete Salesperson course, you must go as a real estate agent. Whether you're a veteran or whether you're new to the industry, you go along and you walk out with such a better picture of the whole real estate process. And Lee will help you work on different parts, particularly in a tricky market, so that you can be successful whatever you do. So mate, thank you so much for my success, because I hold you very much responsible.
Peter, thank you, but let's look at an interesting thing that's happened. So Pete comes along, does his training, learns his words, and let's call that the technique of being a professional real estate salesperson. So Pete's now connected tech to technique. And if we look at people that won't bid at property, people that don't get engaged, people that won't step out, open negotiation came from technique. So you've got tech and technique. That's the best blend. So I'll say congratulations to you. When you first showed me this, it was like, wow, this is going to unlock a different part of the brain, because I think technique and tech does it great. So it's like making a phone call. I'm saying words and the phones allow me the tech to connect, but the connection's in the technique. And I think that's what you've really done here. That's come out really well, and right across the country. I know a lot of my members are actually winning business now because they're doing something different versus, you got this or that. And I think selling options are a technique and skill where people will see you as an advanced person because you offered more options versus being up for sale or auction. Whereas now it's, are you going to sell with a ceiling price or a non-ceiling price? And would you like to know that no one's wasting your time coming to your home because they've signed the contract first? And I think as a professional agent, it's our job to keep people out as well as in. An open negotiation is the tech of opt-in, and I think a lot of people would miss that in your product, that they think it's an app like eBay or something, which it's not. It's totally a technique of engaging people by tech into buying property.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Someone said to me the other day, you know, it's fair, it's simple, and you can buy a property on your phone. And that kind of wraps up how simple it is. But then on the other side of that, it helps the owners understand where the price is on the property. I interviewed Will Ainsworth. Oh my God. And Will's just a perfect systemised auction man. So part of his KPIs is taking the owner throughout the auction campaign, multiple offers, so they can prepare themselves for auction day, maybe see a little bit better where the market is. And that's essentially what Open does. And you know, really all we've done through many of your courses, I've learnt so much that we've integrated into the system that has a flow through that allows the buyers to feel served, the sellers to understand where the market is, and for the agent to end up being a good guy with not just the person that buys it, but the people that miss out, because they're usually, if there's a multiple offer situation, they're the ones that are really angry with the agent. Because what a lot of agents forget is a person that goes all the way to writing up a contract on a property, the husband and the wife have agreed on this one, which is a miracle in itself, and then if they miss out on it because they felt the agent didn't give them opportunity to buy it, they hate them. Whereas people that miss out at an auction or with an open negotiation, they missed out fair and square. It went past beyond what they were prepared to pay.
I think what's important about that is having the right process is a lead generation system, versus our industry suffers from, I would never ever deal with that person again, the way they made me feel, the way they treated me. So don't misunderstand transactions, lead generation are all in the same moment. But I think what's also important is if someone's signing early, well then the owner knows we have people that have signed paperwork versus, oh, we've had a lot of interest, that guy with the poodle came back again and he actually lives 4 doors up. That's very different to someone signing documentation. But I also think if you've signed the documents and then it's now 2-3 weeks down the track and I'm only discussing price, I've already signed. So you've halved this anxiety part of, you know, anyone buying a home, and bidding on glass is very different to being in a big public audience. But my tip or observation is to be current and relevant. You would need to know everything going on around you, use it or not. Don't lose business because someone says, oh, what do you do here? And we're seeing that happen a hell of a lot now, Pete, where people are just not up to date with selling options.
It's just another tool in the toolkit that agents that have been trained are actually sometimes not winning it with the open negotiation system, but they get the listing because they offered something that the other agents hadn't. Now, before you go, Lee's produced more audio for the real estate industry, interviewing some of the most famous real estate agents and people out of real estate, so that we can listen to successful people every day in our car. Can you tell us about what you've just produced?
Yeah, so, and thank you for your comments. So this is our 20th year of Real Estate Hot Topics, the audio, which is all started with John McGrath and myself, and it's been an 80-minute audio program every month for 20 years. But recently, I did the Hands Across the Water ride for charity with Digital Live, and there was 21 coaches contributed their time to do an hour's coaching. That went incredibly well, and then we decided to invite all those coaches to be on the one audio program. So it ended up being 5.5 hours of live coaching. Each coach couldn't tell us their background, their life story and where they were born. It was just give us one powerful tip you would pass on as your most significant observation from coaching others. And most of us have been coaching for 20 years, so a bit of time management, listing presentations, a lot on mindset and social. So that's all been put together, and it's only $49, and all that money goes to charity. And all you need to do is text the word HANDS to the mobile number of 0429 272 009, make your donation. And one of the greatest incredible audio programs ever constructed from all my competitors from my entire life, all in the one show at the one time, is put together. And actually there's a line on there that John McGrath said that was just amazing, and obviously John's been helped and helped thousands of agents, but he said, if you've been blessed, be a blessing. And I really liked it. It was this case of, you know, when you've learned something, you're doing it now. You know, you've 20 years of studying negotiation, and this is the outcome of that. And that's a blessing, where people go, wow, I'm selling houses, I'm listing houses because I've learnt this skill. And for any of you out there, if you've learned something significant and powerful from someone, share that.
Share it.
Because that collaboration is the future of this industry.
Yeah, and that's, from what we're seeing in everything, even coming to a conference like this, the future with tech means that we need to be more human. And that's what Steve Carroll says in his talks about technology, is that
definitely
technology is not going to take us out of the equation. We just need to get better at human relationships, using technology to make ourselves more efficient.
And that's that tech and technique.
Yeah.
It really is. And I'd love to say I did the Tom Panos interview as part of my lineup. And Tom, you were so well behaved. There wasn't one swear word. You were very humble on air with being interviewed, because when you interview, it's quite different to being interviewed. And I really enjoyed his segment. Mike Sheargold was on it, Dane Atherton, Matt Steinway, everyone's on it. But if you do want to delve deep into some serious coaching, that one-off PowerPoint tip was just phenomenal.
And it's $50. It's actually going to charity, and it's amazing charity. And if you spend that $50 and listen to it, you will make more money in real estate than you ever have. That's the beautiful thing about coming to these conferences, going to Lee's courses or any of the trainers that he interviewed. One little thing can change your career.
Thank you for having me on your program.
Mate, thank you.
Thank you, Peter.
Always a pleasure.
Congratulations, and to your listeners, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the future.
Thanks everyone. Have a great day.